All right, boss, if you want the best active noise cancellation that you can possibly get in an earbud with 6 hours of battery life and some damn good sound, you might want to check these things out. These are the new Bose QuietComfort 2 earbuds. I've never actually tried a set of Bose anything really except in Best Buy, you know, like the headphones and stuff. I just never really liked the sound of Bose outside of like speakers and stuff. Like their headphones, they never really seem to have enough bass for me. So I always prefer like a Sony or something like that. But now we're trying out these QuietComfort 2s, man. And I gotta tell you, I'm not liking this. I'm not liking it because in a couple of ways, they're actually making my Sony WF-1000XM4s look kind of bad, bro. So when I compare the two, here's what I get, man. Well, you know what? First of all, let's camp out on the Bose earbuds just for a second because I haven't done like a dedicated video for them. I just wanted to do a comparison video to what people would call the top earbuds out, which would be the Sony XM4s. So the Bose QC, I'm gonna call them QC2s from now on, okay? So the Bose QC2s, they have a great sound profile. And I think they're kind of bass forward, but not too much. You know, they do it right. They do it really, really well. But immediately when I turned them on, I noticed that there was a nice little kick of bass in there. And I was very surprised, you know, coming from Bose, based off what I told you earlier. They've got a really well-balanced sound signature where you can hear all kinds of details and stuff. The treble is good, mids are on point, and the bass is thumping. Like, I'm talking some actual boomy bass out of these, and I'm still floored by it. I'm still just shocked. Now, the overall fit and comfort you're gonna get out of the Bose QuietComfort 2s is kind of nice. I'll admit it, man. It fit really well with the stock earbuds on, although I did have to move to a large on the right earbud just because my ears are, you know, cattywomp. You know, I got a large ear hole right here and then a medium ear hole on the left, but they fit in there nice and good. But they do give you some extra ear tips and wings. That way you can get that perfect fit. And they do advise you to kind of play around with them because you do want a perfect fit because they do have active noise cancellation. And that brings us to the most obvious difference between the Bose QuietComfort 2s and the Sony WF-1000XM4s. But first we got to get a couple of bills paid. I got a kid in college. Wilson has 4 babies, mamas, and a ton of kids. So we need you to watch this super short brief ad from today's video sponsor. Say what? Oh man, this little thing jams. All right, I'm gonna tell you what, I'm kind of digging this new Sound Dynamic Vibe Bluetooth. Oh, you can't even see me because it's dark in here, man. Hold up, let me get some lights on. Okay, that's much better. Now, where was I? The new Vibe Bluetooth speaker from Sound Dynamic. Man, I'm really surprised at how much this little thing jams. So you got these RGB lights all over this thing from the top and all over the sides. I mean, it's truly like somebody just dropped some radioactive slime on this thing. But as small as it is, it's coming feature packed with IPX7 waterproof and dust proofing and a 12-hour battery life. But you know what's better than one Sound Dynamic Vibe Bluetooth speaker? Yeah, you guessed it, you're a smart guy. 2 Sound Dynamic Vibe Bluetooth speakers. So here's a super cool feature. You can actually pair these things up in stereo mode. Get yourself connected via the Sound Dynamic app and have full control over your speaker, whether it be playback controls or in the sound where you have optimal, bright, or warm sound signatures. You can even customize and set up 3 different custom sound profiles. You can also go into the lighting and change the lighting if you want to via the app. And the best part about it is that they already come at a great low price, but if you go to sounddynamic.com or even their Amazon store, you're going to get an even better discount. Hey man, you know me, I'm no expert in this kind of stuff, but what I do know is if it jams, turn it up. Now, previous to today, I thought the Sony WF-1000XM4s had the absolute best active noise cancellation experience in a set of true wireless earbuds. But now Bose is coming after that heavyweight championship belt with their QuietComfort 2s. They claim it's the best noise cancellation in the world. And in a way, they're correct because they actually outperform the Sony XM4s. I went outside on my patio and I have a fountain out there and my wife was out there. So these are higher pitched sounds. Of course, a lot of good earbuds block out the low rumbles and stuff, but when it comes to higher pitches, the midtones and the high pitches like human voice and just tingly sounds, none of them really truly block all of that out. Neither do either one of these, but Bose actually does it the best, okay? They block out almost all of the high-pitched sound, including voices. I had my wife talk to me, like I never really have to ask her to talk to me. She's always talking. But I'm just saying, man, she's always talking. So I just tell her, hey, let me try these earbuds out. And I could barely hear her voice. And she's standing like, I don't know, maybe 6 feet in front of me. So I don't know, man. The Bose are killing it when it comes to active noise cancellation on all fronts. But there is a caveat. They actually pull this off by adding a little bit of white noise into your active noise cancellation. For those of you who don't know what white noise is, it's basically it's like a hiss almost, and it kind of counteracts the frequencies from the higher pitched sounds that you're getting in. So Bose seems to have turned that up just a notch to block out those really high pitched sounds, but you're actually going to hear a slight hiss while you're listening to dead silence. Whereas the Sony still do a fantastic job without introducing any exterior white noise into your sounds or music. So is Bose correct when they say they have the best noise cancellation in a set of earbuds? Well, technically yes, because they do block out more sounds or even mask more sounds. Whereas I feel like the experience is better with Sony because there's no introduction of the white noise at all. It's just, it's as silent can be without adding the extra white noise to counteract the frequencies. I don't want to get into too much detail about that, but that's how I think they pulled it off. So when it comes to active ANC, it really depends. Are you going to be okay with hearing a slight hiss? Like if you just want earbuds in and you want total silence, are you going to be okay with hearing a slight hiss in the air as you're listening to the Bose QuietComfort 2s? Or do you need dead silence with, you might hear some high-pitched tones, from the outside world, but at least you're not going to get that hiss with some really good and strong active noise cancellation with the Sony XM4. Now, when it comes to which one has the best ambient sound, I gotta hand that over to both of them. They both do a fantastic job of bringing in all the sounds from your natural environment, and it sounds pretty natural until you get to human voice. Not the voice that you're talking to, because it's still a tie. When you're talking to somebody, you can hear their voice very clearly, but your own voice is what makes the difference in the Bose. Because of the Bose QuietComfort's more shallow design, it doesn't go as deep into your ear canal, causing it to sound like you're talking to someone underwater as it does with the Sony XM4s. Now let's slide into battery life. They both sit in the case and get charged up a couple of extra times, but when we talk about a single use and a single charge, the Sony's is going to give you up to 8 hours and the Bose are going to give you up to 6 hours. I think it's also worth mentioning that Sony does have multi-point connectivity, which allows you to connect 2 devices at the same time. Bose simply just doesn't have that right now. Also, with the Sonys, you can connect either the right or the left earbud and use it independently. With the Bose, you can only connect the right bud and use it independently. Now, it's time to get into some call quality samples. All right, so I'm standing in front of my AC unit and it is blasting because my house is ice cold, baby. But this is all the sound you're getting from that thing. And now you're listening to the Bose QuietComfort 2 earbuds call quality with that AC blaring in the background. And now you get the chance to hear the Sonys in the background with the same AC blaring in the background. So you can determine which one sounds better to you. Moving right into the app experience, Bose doesn't give you much of an app experience, but they do give you some necessities here. You got volume toggles right there, which, since I'm looking at the volume, I gotta tell you that while they do get pretty loud, actually they do get very loud and the sound is really good, which I'm gonna double back into toward the latter part of the video. I found that you gotta, at the halfway point, that's where I usually listen to my Sony XM4s because I'm getting plenty of sound there and I can hear all the details and bass I wanna hear at the 50% mark. But I gotta move it into the red zone. Let me bump that up into the red zone for the Bose. That's where I get the same level of volume and I would say the volume of the music, as far as the body of the music, such as bass and the details. That's where I'm hearing that stuff. So I do have to crank them up a little bit more than I would have to do with my Sonys to get the same level of experience. But since we're in here, let's go into modes because you get some different modes. It starts off with 2, which is quiet and aware. You can actually program up to 4 modes. And when I say program, what you do is you go in here and you see where it has those little toggle lines. You can go in here and adjust the noise cancellation for whatever you need it to be to let in ambient sound, or I should say maybe just adding noise cancellation or letting in ambient sound. Put it to wherever you want it to be, and you can call it the default, which is focus, or you can rename it to whatever you want. Oh no, you can't rename it. You can just choose. So let's call this one work. That is my work mode. So it's going to give me that level of noise cancellation at work, and then we'll go ahead and save it. And then you can have one, and I'm going to call this one workout, which I've already done. And let's just crank that all the way up because I don't want anybody in my business while I'm working working out. So you can program these modes. And the reason why you want to program them is because you have a shortcut button on the left earbud, or you can choose whichever earbud you want to use. I have mine programmed on the left. All you got to do is press and hold for maybe 2 or 3 seconds, and it will cycle through all of the different modes you have. So that's kind of annoying because if you have 4 modes, you have to toggle like press and hold, next mode, press and hold, next mode, press and hold, next mode to get to that last mode. But at least you still have all 4 of them, and they are, to your specifics. At least you still have them on the fly by pressing and holding that button instead of having to pull out your phone. Now, since they gave you a left shortcut, they also give you a right shortcut, but you're limited. You can't do anything you want. They just give you the option of cycling through modes or activating your Google Assistant or or Siri or whatever you're going to be using. Now let's jump into the EQ. Now, as I've said before, higher end companies such as Bose, Sennheiser, Bowers & Wilkins, Sony, all these companies, JBL, they usually give you a 5-band EQ or less. It's usually a 3-band EQ, and that is no different with the Bose QuietComfort 2. And that's because they spent years, I'm talking decades, refining their signature sound that they want to give you. And that's why you go to them. It's because they have a special sound, right? So they don't want you messing that up too much. So they limit you to this 3-band EQ, which I don't really think you're gonna need, because I really did appreciate the sound right off the bat. But you can toggle this up or down in the negative, whatever you want to do, or you can reset it. But they also have this right here, bass boost. Oh man, that bass boost. Yeah, I like that. Now that's where they are kicking Sony's ass. I tried to re-EQ my Sonys and I could not get that level of body and bass into my music with the Sony XM4s. It wasn't happening. I toggled up the EQ on the 5-band EQ that the Sony XM4s has, and I toggled up the mega bass or whatever they call it, clear bass. It just did not sound the same. Bose has done it right. These earbuds sound fantastic. Now the app experience is where Sony is actually going to really outshine the Bose QuietComfort 2s because they just have so much. There's 3 pages of things that you can do to kind of customize your experience with the earbuds. We see this adaptive sound control, which Bose actually does have. They call it active sense technology. It'll heighten the awareness, which is the ambient sound mode or the noise cancellation, but it just doesn't seem to work as well as Sony's does. Plus, the Sony XM4 also have the speak to chat, which, oh man, I use that feature all the time. Like I said, my wife is always talking to me. She's so rude. I'll have the earbuds in my head, in my ears, and she'll just start talking. I'm like, don't you see I'm listening to music? And by the time I tell her, don't you see I'm listening to music, it's already kicked in and I can now hear everything. And then she'll be like, never mind. And I'm like, look, my headphones are already off. Let's talk. Whatever you had to say, let's go ahead and knock that out. Okay, I've digressed. Let's get back into this Sony app. On your homepage, this is what you got. You got your adaptive sound control, and you can do all this stuff that, to kind of customize that experience. But then we get into the sound page, and then you can go deeper into how you want your headphones to sound or not sound when it comes to noise cancellation and ambient sound. For those of y'all who don't know this yet, I figured out that if you put it on focus on voice, the ambient sound is not as good. Take that off, man. Leave that off, okay? I got my speak to chat on. You got your 5-band EQ, which you can go in here and customize and have either some presets or, you can actually, I usually keep mine on custom. Let me put it back because I don't want to mess with it. Then you can do all kinds of stuff with the companion apps or partner apps that they partner with, which I don't really agree with, but Sony actually gives you a lot more options when it comes to customization, when it comes to controlling your earbuds. On my left earbud, I've got my noise canceling and ambient sound, my quick attention, and on my right earbud, I have my playback controls. You can there's just a lot more, I almost said constipation. There's just a lot more customization when it comes to the Sony earbuds. So if you're the person who wants more customization and lifestyle experience, then Sony might have what you need in that regard. Now, if you want better sound quality, dude, I gotta tell you, you might need to check out these Bose QuietComfort 2s, QuietComfort 2s, because they are on point. I don't know, man, this is a tough competition. Bose has fantastic active noise cancellation, but it comes at a very, very minute price, which is that that white noise that they introduce. So it will be extra strong, but you do have the white noise in there. Sony's doesn't, but it still has very great active noise cancellation. So if you want the best noise cancellation, that's how you make your decision there. You pick between those two caveats right there. If you want the best sound quality, I gotta say, hands down, I would definitely go with the Bose because they just have the better sound quality. But if you need more volume, you might want to go with the Sonys. Man, this is like tough life decisions. Maybe I should say these are some really tough first world decisions because both of these earbuds are not cheap. At retail price, the Sonys are $279. You can probably catch them on sale since they've been out for a while, but right out of the gate, you are paying a whopping $299 for these Bose QuietComfort 2s. They might go on sale a little bit later, but hey, these are $300 earbuds, man. We are living in that time period now. I'm no expert in this kind of stuff, but what I do know is if it jams, turn it up.